Hey guys, Billy Upperhart here, and I'm with my partner, David Briggs in Tricord Global.
Our journey, there was, I saw what was problematic on the mission field with missionaries, other organizations, whether they were NGOs or whatever, that they shared the gospel, they did a lot of great work, but nothing was sustainable, nothing was indigenous is what we used to call it back then,
Right.
Autonomous and indigenous. And the problem was that they would get people born again, they'd share their faith, but there was no real progression in the economic sphere to bring them to a place in their life where they could be socially impacted and be lifted out of the conditions they were in to
Right.
improve their life.
Yeah, poverty
Poverty
and other things. And so you and I have had a burning desire for a long time to really be able to have what we now call a social impact, which is really a spiritual impact as well as a social impact, where we talk about not just giving people a handout, but a hand up. In fact, we have witnessed, and you have many times even more than I have, and I have many times, have witnessed where we almost have created welfare societies with our missions money in America. An example would be the story you told me, like in Haiti, of the farmers and some of those in business who were put out of business by people who brought money. And I've seen it happen in other countries we've gone to. It's actually happened out in Karamoja, where we're at now in Uganda, where an NGO will come in and give all the corn away, and it'll put all the farmers that are farming corn out of business because they don't have anybody to sell to, because the NGOs come in and give it away.
Yeah, that one story, without going into a lot of detail, really impacted me years ago, because they spent over $1 million back then, which was a lot of money, and they sent a bunch of rice over in the Caribbean and Haiti and to distribute rice among the hungry people.
Right.
But what happened was they so flooded the market with rice, and everybody got rice for a few days to eat. It put all the local rice vendors out of business,
Right.
and it actually made the conditions worse.
Right.
When strategically, if they could understand the synergy and the real business's mission, or being able to improve economies and develop, communities and the nations, is they could have took that same $1 million, strategically placed with training, and they could have trained and invested in different businesses selling rice. They could have bought the rice over there cheaper than when they took it over
when
there.
they shipped it out
They
over
could have
there.
infused the economies. They could have
Empowered
empowered the business people. Still accomplished charitably what they wanted to, if they wanted to give the rice away at the end of the day.
Right.
But leave the economics of the community
Right.
strong, and increase the influence of the believers there.
Right. And so it's been about 10 years, or over 10 years now, well over 10 years, almost 11 years ago, we actually started Tricord Global. And what had happened in my life, we were kind of going through parallel times. We both live now, of course, in the same city, in Colorado and Denver. And but our journeys, you were still in Florida at the time. And I had felt like I was going to retire, as it were, so I did retire. But I remember walking through an airport about a month or so before I actually stepped away, and I picked up the book called A Billion Bootstraps, which was written by a guy who had partnered with Hope International. And he was in the oil business, oil and gas, and he had sold out. And I'd done the same thing. I'd kind of sold out and had some money and real estate and all the things I had. But I realized that I needed to do something that had more of a purpose. So at the time, after reading that book, it really showed me the power of empowering people. And we did it now through Tricord, primarily, not the only way, but primarily through microfinance loans.